Dear community members, once again, thank you very much for coming to Monday night, the gate of trust, the duty of the heart. Today, usually every week we're speaking, first of all, sending regard to all of you from Eretz Israel, Eretz HaKodesh. Last week I was in Israel. I went into the yeshiva of my father, Rahmat Kunam, 10 years. Our shiur Torah, if we already start, will be לעילוי נשמת האישה הכשרה שנפטרה בשם טוב מן העולם, הרת זלפה בת בנור, וגם כן את פניר בת חפצי, פניר פטימה בת סביון, וגם כן את רומא רחמין בן לאה ליזה, וירחמיאל דניאל בן גדליה. מרינה בת חיה בת דוד. הן וכל השבויים מהם, בכלל הסליחות וכן יהי רצון, חנוכה בן מיכאל. הם וכל השבויים מהם, בכלל הסליחות, בכלל הרחמים והסליחות, וכן יהי רצון ונאמר אמן. רבותיי, today we're going to speak about something that has something to do with my father and his personality. And I believe the most important character that a person needs in life. If you're going to ask me every time I'm giving you a different advice, Daniel, what's the best character to have? What's the best character that you spouse? We're going in to look for shidduch. What's the best character in business? Being a worker or being a boss? What that a person, if you have it, you guaranteed to be successful in anything you do. The gate of heaven is open, much stronger for my tears. They say that when you cry, you can open any doors. But if you have this character, you can blow up any wall. Not a door, a walls. A solid wall you can break up. They have one character that considered to be the highest level of character. If you have it, you have everything that you need. And if you don't have it, you're a miserable human being. You can be smart, intelligent, religious, with a long beard, praying 3 times a day, keeping Shabbat, Kashrut, Taharat HaMishpacha, Lashon Hara, and still you are a miserable human being. Your life is a hell. And if you have this character, life is amazing. Life is just amazing. Incredible life. And many rabbis said, especially Rabbi Nachman, that the war of Yetzer Hara is to get you to lose this character. This is the fight. The fight is not only to make you sin, is to have the after effect. They call it after party, after effect. What's the after effect of this? Which character are we talking? Which character is the most important character? Especially, I'm talking about my father, Rahmat Kunam, that he had this gift. Especially in this month, the month of Adar, that the job of this month is to get and to inquire this character. What's the name of character?
Joy.
Mishe nichnas adar marbin besimcha. A minute that Adar arriving, we increase the level of happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have happiness, if you are a happy person, anything you want in life. You know, Admor Zaken, the first Chabad Rebbe, explain. Sadness, they said, no, not the Admor Zaken, but he explained. Sadness is not a sin, but will make you make all the sin in the Bible. When a person is depressed and sad, you can see his spiritual power and his physical power is down. He's going to get sick much faster. COVID-19 or Omicron or Delta or American Airlines is on the way to you. No doubt. No doubt is easy being proved even logic and medicine-wise. A person that they are happy, they are most likely to get cured from any sickness that they have. A person that is depressed, sad, a dead human being. Who want to be around you when you are sad, depressed, see only black, see only negativities. But if you are happy, a happy person attract anyone around them. מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה. It's obligation to be בשמחה. So much that they have 1 week, the whole parasha in that week, Kitavu, talking about courses and courses. And in the end of that courses, God in the Bible is explaining why we get in such a course. תחת אשר לא עבדת את השם אלוקיך בשמחה ובטוב לבב. You know why you get in this course? Not because you didn't keep Shabbat, you kept kashrut, you put the tefillin, you wake up in the morning to minyan, but you came with a sour face. Sour face. God said, oh, how did the Rambam write להלכה? The Rambam write it להלכה. Listen to the word of the Rambam. מוכרחים להיות שמח is not only statements. How did the Rambam write? השמחה שישמח אדם בעשיית המצוות עבודה גדולה היא, וכל המונע עצמו משמחה זאת ראוי להיפרע ממנו. You know what the Rambam write? Rambam is not a storybook. Rambam is הלכה. הלכה meaning obligation. The obligation to be happy. Nathan, Daniel, Chaim, the obligation to be happy is obligation. Every time you do mitzvah, every time you keep Shabbat, cannot be a person is walking in Shabbat like somebody putting shotgun on his head and his sour face because his religion. He become religious and he become depressed. I don't understand. What kind of religion is that? Ivdu et Hashem besimcha. Religious supposed to lead you to be happy, not to be depressed. Chas v'shalom. God forbid. Just opposite. If you serve in God, that Torah, that service have to uplift you to be a happy human being. If this is so, the Rambam writes, and anyone that do mitzvot and is not happy is worthy to punish him. I said in the next way, להיפרע ממנו can be either punish him or either to let him go. How did David HaMelech said? David HaMelech said in Tehillim, וראיתני בדרך, I'm going to look at the Tehillim 1 second. Wow, this pasuk, every time I pass it, I'm smiling. Because I remember this. Wow, unreal. What a pasuk David HaMelech said. What a pasuk. וראה אם דרך עוצב בי, ונחני בדרך עולם. You know what David HaMelech said? Chaim, you know what David HaMelech said? God, if you're going to see me one day that I'm sad or upset, you can take my life. If you're going to find me one day... Now listen to this. David HaMelech had many reasons, Binyamin, to get upset. His own father doesn't recognize him. He called him a bastard. His own brothers do not talk to him. The nation called him a goy. According to the Jewish nation, he's not even a Jew. His father-in-law tried to kill him. His son tried to kill him. And everybody make fun of him. 70 years of a miserable life. And he said, God, if you're going to see me one day upset or sad, you can let me go. Meaning, it was not even one day that he was upset. Unreal, huh? Unreal, what a life. Your father-in-law, your father, your brothers, your sons, your balagan. We have a flat-tire for 1 week. We have a sour face like Tisha B'Av. Why bad things happen to good people? Why me? Why this? You fall down in the test. What a crisis. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? You have a watch that you want to buy, a shoes that you want to buy, and happen to be that you cannot. You got a job and you went out on a date and something didn't work out. And now for 1 month, you don't wake up in the morning. That's it. Rabbi, don't call me, I call you. So why? Because the date fell down. David HaMelech had real issues. His own son chased him to kill him. His own father-in-law chased him to kill him. And in between, the nation called him Goy. His own father himself called him a bastard. what a life, you don't understand. And what David HaMelech said, God, if you're going to see me one day, that I am upset or sad, you can take me over. It's not worthy to be alive. Wow. 70 years. 70 years the need of smile and happiness. What's the secret? מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה. מוישלה, השמחה, כי בשמחה תצאון. You know what's mean, כי בשמחה? I said, tears can open doors. Happiness can break any wall. What a beautiful statement is that. דמעה פורצת או פותחת דלתות. השמחה מפוצצת חומות. Wow, in Hebrew is beautiful as well. You know what we said? We said that tears, and the ladies, I'm talking about tears, 3 ladies is walking into the class. Why? They are exposed of tears. A woman when you're going to get married, you're going to get to know. They have a button, right, Dr. Albert? They have a button. They can cry anytime, any moment, day and night. Just, no, I don't know where is the button. I didn't figure out where. But they have a button. No matter which age, your mama, she's 50, 60, 70 years old. They always can cry, I mean, you need a reason. You need to get to the emotion. You need to put depression music. You need to get to the mood, right? To the mood. Woman doesn't need the mood. She's a walking. And tears is so important. Ladies, tears is the greatest gift. When you have the ability to cry, you can open any doors. But you know what's strong from tears? Much stronger. The only item that is 10 times stronger from any tears, to be happy. To be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, you have no dagot. That's it, nothing, no dagot. No worry, that's it. Rabbi, what do I need to do? You know what you have to do? To work in yourself to be happy. Very simple. When we get into the Rosh Chodesh Adar, today is Rosh Chodesh Adar Aleph. Now we have 60 days. Why 60 days of Adar? Because we have 2 months. You know what's the secret I said in Shabbat? You know what's the secret of the 60 days? You know why this year is a lucky year? Because we have a rule in Halakha. What's the rule in Halakha, Binyamin? What? If you have milk, drop of milk fell down to a pot of meat, can you eat the meat, yes or no?
If it's 160.
Very nice. You see, Moshe Talmid Chacham. If it's 160, then if they have 60 amount against the drop, 60 over, right? What's the halakha is? Beautiful, it's kosher. 60 have the power, in simple English, to nullify anything against, right? Right? If this is so, if you're going to be happy in the next of 60 days, Shlomi, you're going to have such a year. All what you have to do is 60 days of happiness. That's it, 60 days, nothing bother you. And 60 days of happiness, you can nullify any obstacle that will come this coming year. No obstacles, no challenges. Everything you want and desire, you're going to get. What do you have to do? Don't worry, be happy. That's it. David, don't worry, be happy. That's it. Be happy, smile. Wake up in the morning. But how do we get to the happiness? And now that we understand that happiness is the greatest tool, our Chaim HaKadosh writes. You see, Dr. Albert, one of the only people in the Bible that even though we change his names, his old names still exist. Which one is that? Yaakov Avinu. God changed his name to become what? Israel. Are we always use the name Israel? No. Sometimes we use Yaakov, sometimes we use what? Israel. What's the difference between Yaakov and Israel? Come the Chaim HaKadosh and write. Israel meaning you can overcome even angels. Anything you want in life you can. Yaakov meaning Ekev, the heels. You're weak, you are small. What's the difference? When Yaakov Avinu was happy, his name was Israel. When he was in a moment of lack of happiness, his name is Yaakov. If you want to achieve the name Israel, Ki sarita im Elokim, you can even battle godliness, angel against you, Moshe, what do you have to do? Moshe, I want to ask you, you're going out on a date. Which date considered to be a good date? Which date is considered to be a miserable date? You're going out on a date. Shlomi, which date? Moshe, which date is good?
The happy one.
A happy date. Imagine yourself, you're going outside on a date, and the person next to you, depressed, looks like he's going to jump. He barely take one word, face like this, like Tisha B'Av. Seriously, why? The whole world is on, he's walking like this, like the whole world is on his back. Who want to get married with such a guy? Who want to have a business with such a guy? Admor Zaken, the first Chabad Rebbe, gave example. When you're going in to a, how do you call it, boxing match. Who is the one that winning the match? The stronger person, or the person that have the bigger will to win, the bigger desires to win? Second, right? The one that have, what make a person having a will? When he is happy. When you are happy, you have the will to achieve anything you want in life, and nothing will ever stop you. When you are happy, happiness is that engine, is that wheels that you wake up in the morning, and you know happy people always see positive. They always come with new energy. No matter how many obstacles, one day didn't work out, nothing happened. They leave the date. Hashem Melech, to Hashem, tomorrow B'ezrat Hashem, I'm going to have a you know why this has happened? God wants to save me. They have all this explanation. A depressed person, everything that happened to him become like, wow. Rabbi, I have Ain Hara, Negara, Pegara. Somebody did something bad to me. Why bad things happen? Why? Very simple. Happiness. So how do we achieve happiness? How do we achieve happiness? In order to win life, in order to overcome or to go out from one obstacle in life, you have two choices. One of them is to cry a lot, to have a lot of tears. The other one is just to be happy. Which one is more easy? To be happy, right? The job is not so. It's much more easy to cry, but yes. Which one is better is to be happy. But to be happy is not easy. But we can achieve it. To that we're going to give you few advice, few tips. How exactly a person can elevate himself to become a happy person. And if you are a happy person, you have everything you want in life. Everything you want. To be happy, mitzvah gedolah. Mishenichnas Adar marbin b'simcha. A minute that Adar is coming, we increase the level of happiness. We increase. How did Rabbi Nachman Breslov write? That the job of this month, especially of Purim, how many mitzvot we have in Purim? How many mitzvot? Shlomi, how many mitzvot we have in Purim?
4.
Beautiful. What's the name of the mitzvot? How do you know what's the name of the mitzvot? One of them is to read Megillah. Beautiful. Second one is to give gift to poor people. Now number 3 is to give to friends, and then to give money to poor people. Number 3. Number 4 is drinking wine and eating Seudah, right? 4 mitzvot. Meal, by the way, all of them start with the letter Mem. Mem. This way you remember. When we're going to achieve Purim in 6 weeks from now, you're going to remember the letter, which letter? Mem. How do you know Mem? Very simple. The first one is Mishteh. Mishteh meaning Seudah, drinking and eating. Mem, Mishteh. In Hebrew, Mishteh. Next one is Mishloach Manot. Mishloach Manot is the meaning gift to your friends, right? Mem. Next one is Matanot La'evyonim, gift to the poor people, right? And last one is Mikra Megillah, Mem. Beautiful, right? 4 Mem, 4 mitzvot. Rabbi Nachman Breslov writes, no. They have mitzvah that this is the real mitzvah. The real mitzvah of Purim is not this 4. This 4 is an introduction to the real one. And what's the real one? No, nobody teaches us in the yeshivot. Because of that, you're coming in to the BJCC at Minyan Torah Flow, the place to be, to study what you cannot study in the school. To study what's that? What's that? שעיקר עבודת הפורים, מה? לעשות אותם ימי משתה ושמחה. To make the day of Purim happy days. To, how do you call it, to fill up or to inject happiness for the whole year. The job of Purim is to take happiness. You know, it's like when you have a car, when you drive in a car, you need gas. The more gas you put, the more that you can drive. I mean, if you're going to be cheap and you're going to put only $3, and I met people like this, every gas station they stop, they put $3. It's not going to become cheaper, you know. I don't know why. I don't know. The guy, if you put $5, you need AKG. You check it out. He's like this. He's a stingy guy, you know. He's thinking that he's going to be American. Baba Sali, he become a Baba Sali. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. What do you think, that God is going to make you American? The guy is a simple man. He's putting $3. Where are you going? He said, Rabbi, I need to go to Florida. So why you put $3? You're not going to get into New Jersey. Not to Florida. New Jersey with $3. But these people, the more that you pay gas, meaning the more miles you can drive, right? Purim, we have one day. Actually 1 month. 1 month. Actually 2 months this year. 60 days to inject, to refill enough happiness for the whole year. You know what it means to be happy the whole year? That nobody will ever see you with tears, only tears of happiness. When you're walking into the chuppah, it's good to cry. The only time I said this, why? These tears is called tears of happy, tears of joy. That one I'm allowed to. When you win the lottery, you're allowed to cry. Because this tears is what? Tears of joy, Baruch Hashem. When you finish the decree, the semesters, not the semester, the university titles, and you finish it and you become a dentist, and you're looking for a job and Dr. Albert accepts you, you cry. Why you cry? Tears of joy, Baruch Hashem. When you, Shlomi, buy a building or sell a building, but a big building in Manhattan, you can cry. Why? Tears of joy. Tears of joy, I'm okay with this. But the whole year, you will never have any other tears. You know why? Because you have 60 days that you can achieve. You can take a bucket of happiness, a bucket. The Lubavitcher Rebbe used twice, in Purim and also in Simchat Torah. The Rebbe asked the Hasidim, do not stop dance. With the Hasidim and Simchat Torah, they dance 48 hours. They're going from one synagogue to, you know, the Chabad. They never stop. One synagogue, another, and they dance. He told the Hasidim, gentlemen, my dear children, dance. Why? Because that day you take a bucket of happiness. The whole year you're going to use it. That happiness will help you for the whole year. To be a happy human being. So what do we need to do? Before we're going to answer these questions, I'm going to ask you another question. And the other question is why? Why the month of Adar, the whole month, is unique? Tell me, Pesach is also the whole month? Pesach is also the whole month? No, right? Pesach, you celebrate Pesach when? When exactly you celebrate? The 14 days of Pesach, right? Of Nisan, right? Sivan is also something special for the whole month, no, right? Sivan is what time is Shavuot? 6 days of. Why Purim is the only holidays that a minute that he come, משנכנס Adar, marbin besimcha. We have 2 weeks away, or actually this year, we have 6 weeks away from Purim. Why already we are celebrating the holidays, we start to get to the mood 6 weeks before. And by the way, I'm going to tell you, even halakha-wise, it make a difference. Shlomi, if you have a courthouse, somebody suing you, which month is the best month to go to the court? Adar, the whole month, right? Why? It's 6 weeks away from Purim. You're talking about happiness, okay, 6 weeks away. Daniel, if you're going outside of the town, to a place where there's no Megillah, from which day of the month you can start reading the Megillah? 11. Right, 11, 12, 13. But some said even from the Rosh Chodesh Adar. If you know that you're not going to have Megillah next to you, beautiful, the Gemara Masechet Megillah, amazing. And you can start even from the. Why? Can you eat matzah from the first day of Pesach, of Nisan?
No.
Can you eat?
No.
Can you have Sukkot and Aleph Tishrei?
No.
Open Sukkot and Yom Kippur. Go into Yom Kippurim and Sukkot. Make Sukkah for Yom Kippurim. Can you fulfill the mitzvah? No. Purim is the only times. Why? What is so unique? And then we're going to answer the two questions. Moray Rabotai, you know why Adar is 7 special? Because Adar, something that affects the whole year. You know what's happening in Adar? The Rabbi right, you know what's happening in Adar? Zayin Ba'adar, you know who came to the world? Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe Rabbeinu is the one that brought Pesach, and Shavuot, and Sukkot, and everything else. Adar is different, because the reason of all the holidays, even before Purim, is what? The birth of Moshe Rabbeinu. The day that Moshe Rabbeinu came to the world changed history. Because of that, in the month of Adar, we increase the level of happiness from the beginning. Why? Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is the source of all the blessing. So this is to answer these questions regarding to how to achieve happiness. And by the way, like the Rambam writes, each one of us can achieve happiness. How can you achieve it? Very simple. The first one is תעשה ולא תעשה. Positive and negatives. Negative meaning do not do. Do not do. What you're not allowed to do? Do not speak about items that making you upset. When you open it, you're not going to become happier. Just more. It will increase the level of sadness. Do you hear that? They said, ladies, you have to listen until the end, don't get offended. Pirkei Avot said, I know today in women's rights and all this, I saw it from Rabbi Ashkenazi and I fell in love. Dr. Albert, they said, Al tarbe sicha im ha'isha. Our sages said, do not talk too much with your wife. Wow. Pirkei Avot, right? Now all the women flags, wow, why bad things happen? Why? We need to talk. We need our husband to speak with us. You know, the rabbi said that you have to spend at least half an hour with the wife. And then the rabbi tell you, do not speak too much to the wife. Listen to one explanation I saw. You know when you're not allowed to speak with your wife? Just opposite. Marriage is all about speaking to your wife, or at least listen to your wife. Either to speak or either to listen. Listen is much greater. Daniel, you're going to see that when you're going to get married, listen is the greatest. When you're going out on a date, you want to impress the wife, don't speak a lot. Listen even more. Don't worry, they're going to do the talking. They're going to do the talking. A woman can talk for hours and hours, and it's only introduction. Did you ever send a woman to make a shopping? To buy milk? Send a guy to buy milk and send a woman to buy milk. Milk or eggs. Now a man is coming, after 5 minutes he's coming back, or 10 minutes. So the wife is at home, okay, I find the milk, or I bought it, that's it. A woman starts. She went in to buy milk. Don't ask, you know who I saw in the stores? This woman, she left the house. She got divorced from this husband. You know this guy, his own son is sick. Half an hour stories and stories. That you bought the milk, yes or no? She didn't get to the milk yet. Emet? Emet. Well, you know, introduction to the story, I don't understand. Don't worry, they're going to speak. So how can I tell you, do not increase the level of shriken? Listen to what I saw, beautiful explanation, Dr. Albert. When you have something bad that happened to you, don't share it with your wife. It's not going to get easier. Imagine yourself, you come to a synagogue and somebody offend you. You went into a job and whatever, the customer was bad, or you got disrespected, and you're coming back to your wife and you share it with your wife. Wow! I always told you this partner is not good for you. You have to go to open your own business. Instead of you, I will never. She's going to open it even more. When you have something bad, keep it to yourself. Don't speak about it. The first things in order to achieve the level of happiness, when we have obstacle in life, don't speak. Keep it quiet. Overcome and move forward. You're going out on a date, and the date didn't work out. Now, you're coming back to meet with your friends, and they ask you, so how was the date? You know, I have to tell you, and the date he told me this one. So what did you say? I said, and what did he say? And now it become 3 hours conversation, and then all of you need ice cream to eat the whole night, and to get to the mood of depression, and then tears, and then 2 weeks of, why do we need all of it? Don't speak about it. Obstacle, do not open. This is in the negative ways. And in the positive ways, your life have a value. You have to understand that your life have a value. And speak about good things that happen to you. You see how a person become happy? When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you say? What's the first things? Modani. You know why you said Modani? And then we have a blessing. Bless you, God, the King of the universe, that you've given me clothing to wear, that you've given me shoes, that you've given me the ability to hear, that you've given me the ability to see. Why do we have so many blessings in so many details? Bless you, God, that all my body is working and that's it. No, for every part of the body, we have a blessing. Why? Because in order to be happy, you have to value what you already have. And you have so much. Every culture will tell you, and that one is from our Bible, our Chazal, our rabbis, our giants. We don't need to go to outside. In order to be happy, you have to remind yourself the gift that God gave each one of us. And our life is full of gift. Udu l'Hashem kitov, ki l'olam chato. A person has to understand every morning and remind himself the fact that I wake up in the morning. Not only I wake up, I have the ability to see. Not only the ability to see, I have the ability to hear. And then to speak. And then to walk. And then to move my hand. And I have the ability to influence others. It's God's gift. Do you know why you have to remind yourself that? Because this is increase the level of happiness. A sad human being, a depressed human being, always busy to see what he doesn't have. A happy human being, always focused on what he already have. Today, in this moment. Even though that maybe most of you is not married. Even though that most of you missing many things that you need in life. Remember what you have. And you have so much to say thank you. You have so much to say thank you. The fact that we are alive, and we are healthy, and we have a families, and we have a place to sleep, a roof, unreal. The fact that we're not sick, we're not in a hospital, is already God's gift. How many things we have that they consider to be luxuries? Luxuries. All what you have to make is to make a lease, and to understand that our job is not to complain. A minute that you start to complain, you start to bring sadness to yourself. So how do we achieve happiness? Remember, משנכנס אדר, מרבין בשמחה. What means מרבין בשמחה? Increase the level of happiness. How do you increase the level of happiness? That this is the key for everything good that happened in our life. Very simple. To remember to say thank you for what we have, and not to discuss so much about the difficult moment in our life. How did they say it? דאגה בלביש יסיחנה. We have worries. Each one of us here is not happy because we are worried. We are worried, maybe we will never find our shidduch. We are worried, maybe we're going to lose the date that we're already going out with. We are worried, maybe we're going to have accident, God forbid. We are worried so much. So I will tell you a few things about worries, and how to nullify any worry that you have. The first one is will tell you basic. 95% of our worries, they are imagination. You know what I mean imagination? They are not real. They are not even exist. We always worry. Before you're going to get married, you're going to get worried. That I'm doing the right choice or not. Before you're going to have children, you're always going to be worried. But how exactly you never fight the worries? The first thing is a goy attitude. I heard that from one of the speakers, and I believe one time I told you. Listen to the method that he said. Worries, and then. If you have a worry on any items, you went out on a date, and he doesn't want to continue, or she doesn't want to continue, and you really want it, listen to this, and you really want it, can you fix it? Can you fix it? No, right? So why worry? Can you fix it? So why worry? The worry is going to make it happen? No, right? The worry is going to make you miserable. So why do you have to worry? If you lost money, can you fix it? Can you bring the money back? Right? You lost $1,000. Can you fix this situation in life? And 1 week or 2 weeks from now? You cannot make new money? You cannot make $1,000 back?
Yeah, you can.
Obvious, right? So can you fix it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Beautiful. Why worry? You hear that? If you cannot fix it, why worry? If you can fix it, why worry? I love it. Worry, why? What's the point of worries? Worries will not make it any better or any worse. So, no, it's going to make it much worse. But Daniel, if you can fix it, if you're going out on a date, and she said no, and you know that you have influence, and you called in the rabbi and said, Rabbi, I know that you know the family, please make it happen, and happened to me many times. People call me, I called the family, or I called the ladies, I said, listen, I'm looking forward to see you. I spoke with her, 5 minutes later, they went back to the business, and they got married. So why was 2 weeks not sleeping? If you can fix it, fix it. And if you cannot fix it, why worry? It's not going to make any difference, right? If you cannot fix it, you cannot fix it. That's it. Very simple. This is his method. His method. Our method being a Jew is not like this. Our method to be a Jew is like this. Da'aga. How do you write da'aga in Hebrew? Binyamin, how do you write da'aga in Hebrew? Dalet, Aleph, Gimel, Hey. Dalet, Aleph, Gimel, Hey. Which letter are we missing in orders? Bet. Why? Because we start Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, right? Which one we have here? Da'aga, Dalet, Aleph, Gimel, Hey. Which letter are we missing? You know what Bet stand for? Bitachon. You know why a person is worried? Because he doesn't have faith in God. If you have faith in God, and you went out on a date, and the date didn't work out, what do you think? Do you think that God's trying to do something bad for you? It's all Mishamayim, right? It's the best thing that ever happened to you. So why you worry? Worry meaning I don't believe in you, God. I believe that I can do better. But God wants to do only good for you. You got fired from a job, why you worry? Why you worry? You know why you worry? Because you don't have a faith that God is opening a bigger door for you to become much more successful. This is the reason. Because if we have a faith, emunah, and this is what's the meaning, Mishenichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha. You know what it means, Mishenichnas Adar? If you're gonna put Mishenichnas meaning from the minute that you enter, Shlomi, enter what? Enter Adar. You know what you mean Adar? Aleph, Dar. If you understand that Aleph, Alufo Shel Olam is God. Dar meaning living with us. A minute that you put God in your life, Marbin Besimcha, you increase the level of happiness. You want to be happy? Remember the month Adar. Why? Adar meaning Aleph, Dar. You know what you mean Aleph, Dar? God is living with us. This is the simple explanation in Hebrew. God is doing everything in our life, and we cannot do it any better. In my life, I saw it many times when I moved from one community to another community. How did the Almighty God prepare me? Every time. In the most perfect ways. In the most perfect ways. Even though it looked like no connections. Even though that it looked like, you look like you're losing something. And later on you understand that it was the best thing that ever happened to you. It was a house that I came in maybe 2 years ago, before I bought my house. It was a house that we look. And we agreed to pay 1.5. It was a big house. The lady, she's praying in our synagogues. She's praying, she's here every Shabbat. Now, I said, obvious, she's going to come to me, knowing the fact that I'm the rabbi. She's going to give me a better price. She asked 1.6. We said 1.4. We got to 1.5. She said, no, 1.5, 20. So what's the 20 is coming from? What is the mazal? Is it like a number? What's this? I said 1.5. Let's close it over there. That's it. Finish. No. 1.5, 20. I said no. 1.5. She said no. 1.5, 20. And I said we both stood up. That's it. I'm looking at my wife. My wife said no. 1.5. A penny more, we don't buy it. No, I really want the house. It was a big house, you know. I saw huge potential to have many guests. It was maybe 9 bedrooms. You know, huge. 3 floors. I said, you know, Ezrat Hashem, why not? Let's go. My wife said no. 1.5 is 1.5. What do you think? We lost the house. We lost the house. 1 week later, somebody came and offered the money. And she sold it to them. Deep down, you're going around and you say, wow, we just lost the deal, huh? We lost the deal. We lost the deal. God, why? Why bad things happen to good people? Daniel, why bad things happen to good people? Why? Why me? Why I lost the deal? You're going outside on a date and you're asking yourself, why God? Why the date didn't work? You're going out on a job and you didn't get, they didn't choose you. They didn't know for you the position, or they fire you. And Moshe, you're asking yourself why? Chaim, why? 3 months later, we find a new house. Double the site, double the land, 10 times better location. Everybody's a Jew. They call it Bukhara land, or Bukhara Hills, B'nai. And how much we paid? 1.1. $400,000 less. משנכנס אדר, מרבין בשמחה. A minute that you put God in your life, you increase the level of happiness. That's it. Very simple. You know why we are not happy? Because we believe that we run in the world. My deal. I decide. And I lost the deal. No, it's not my deals. And it's not my date. And it's not my bashert yet. It's the Almighty God that runs in the world. וכל מן דוד רחמנא לטב אביד. Everything that God is doing for good. דאגה, worries, missing bet. Missing 1 letter. Which letter? Bet. What is bet, Chaim? ביטחון. If you have a faith and trust in the Almighty God, you will never have any worries. Look like in the Megillah. In the Megillah, what the stories? A Jewish woman is going in to become a queen and getting married with the goy. And not only that, Mordechai is not bending over. And because he's not bending over, the whole Jewish nation is at risk to die. Unreal. What exactly happened? Today, we bless in a man. Why we bless in a man? A person has to be drunk until he doesn't recognize between Arur Haman and Baruch Mordechai. One second, I have to tell you something. With this I'm going to conclude. Between Arur Haman and Baruch Mordechai, a person has to be drunk until he doesn't recognize. Why? Because today, Daniel, what's the reason we celebrate Purim? Because of who? Because of who? Because of Mordechai or Haman? What Mordechai did? Because of Haman. Which Mordechai? Haman is the cause. Dr. Albert, what's the reason we celebrate Purim? Because of Haman or because of Mordechai? Because of Haman, right? So today we're actually telling Haman, thank you for the fact that he's trying. In that moment, if I will tell you this class, Monday night class, listen, you have to say thank you to Haman Rasha. What are you going to tell me? Rabbi, you're not normal. You need to go to psychology. I'm going to pay don't worry. 350, 10 session, I pay, don't worry. Go 3 session, why? What do you mean? But later on, after fact, when we see the story of Purim, what do we say? Thank you. Thank you, Hashem. Because of Haman, we had this, we celebrate, Haman, come on. Very nice. Because of Haman, we got where we got. Because of Haman. This is what they said. A person have to be so drunk that you're not going to see the difference between Kos Haman and Bless Mordechai. Tell me, I know that some of you know how to drink. Being Russian, especially Bukharian, 7 o'clock in the morning, Brit Milah, and people, Rabbi, Adasof, until the end. Now, they don't give small cups, like this, Eliyahu Navi. Put in gasoline, 90% proofs, and they tell you until the end. 7 o'clock in the morning, the guy is 6 o'clock already hospelo, 7 o'clock is already with the cups. L'chaim. What l'chaim kapara? What l'chaim? Said Rabbi Vaknin, you're Moroccan, you don't know what means Russian. Niet kavod, Romeo. I start to sing. After I drink, I start to sing in Russian. Panama is Porush Kedah Harasho. Now everything happened. Now, Dr. Albert, listen to this. A person have to be so drunk, I will tell you Chidush today you never heard. Until you're not going to recognize between Kos Haman to Bless Mordechai. I will ask you 5 questions. Can anyone be so drunk that he's not going to recognize between the Lubavitcher Rebbe to Hitler? No, this is what he said. He said you're not going to recognize between the Lubavitcher Rebbe to the Hitler. I mean, even if I'm going to take barrel of alcohol, give me to drink until I'm going to be, I will always going to recognize who is Hitler, who is not. Haman was much worse from Hitler. Haman tried to kill the whole nation in one day. How can you be so drunk? Listen to this. Daniel, Moshe, listen to this. This is a life-changing. You know, how much is numerical number of Kos Haman? How much is that? 502. How much is the Bless Mordechai? Numerical number? Baruch Mordechai, 502. You have to be so drunk to understand that both of them, they are messengers of God for our benefits. The Haman Rasha that came to kill us is actually the best thing that ever happened. But he's bad. Yes, he's bad. 2,000 years later, we still celebrate Purim. Every year. And we sing it and we love these holidays. Because we understand that Haman was not bad. It was only a messenger of God to awake the Jews. To awake the Jews to do teshuvah. To awake the Jews to care for each other. And he's a blessing. You know? 542 is the same exactly numerical number between Kos Haman to Bless Mordechai. Because Be'emet, deep down, none of them is Kos. They are all blessing of God for our benefits. Imagine yourself, we're going to leave this class and accepting in ourselves to increase the level of happiness. And how do you increase the level? By increasing the level of faith, by understanding that the course moment in our life is actually the greatest moment in our life. Thank you very much.